My name is Advocate Kevin Malunga. I'm the academic head of Regenesis Law School, and I will be doing a presentation on ethics and integrity for the mp4 project. What is ethics and integrity? At its simplest, ethics is a system of moral principles that affect how people make decisions and lead their lives. Ethics is concerned with what is good for individuals and society, and is also described as moral philosophy. The term is derived from the Greek word ethos, which can mean custom, habit, character, or disposition. Ethics covers the following dilemmas: how to live a good life, our rights and responsibilities, the language of right and wrong, moral decisions, what is good, what is bad. Our concept of ethics have been derived from religions, philosophies, and cultures. They infuse debates on topics such as abortion, human rights, and professional conduct. Philosophers nowadays tend to divide ethical theories into these areas: meta-ethics, normative ethics, and applied ethics. Meta-ethics deals with the nature of moral judgment. It looks at the origins and meaning of ethical principles. Normative ethics is concerned with the content of moral judgments and the criteria for what is right and wrong. Applied ethics looks at controversial topics like war, animal rights, and capital punishment. Where does ethics come from? Philosophers have several answers to this question. First is God and religion, human conscience and intuition, a rational moral cost-benefit analysis of actions and their effects, the example of good human beings, a desire for the best for people in each unique situation, and political power. Why do young people like you, and of course, and everyone else, of course, why do young people like you need to know about ethics and integrity? Ethics can provide a moral map. Most moral issues get us pretty worked up. Think of abortion and euthanasia for starters. Because these are such emotional issues, we let our hearts do the arguing while our brains go with the flow. But that's another way of tackling these issues. And that's where the philosophers can come in. They offer us ethical rules and principles that enable us to take a cooler view of moral problems. So ethics provides us with a moral map and a framework which we can use to find our way through difficult issues. Ethics can pinpoint a disagreement. Using the framework of ethics, two people who are arguing a moral issue can often find that what they disagree about is just one particular part of the issue, and that they broadly agree on everything else. That can take a lot of heat out of the argument, and sometimes even hint at a way for them to resolve their problem. But sometimes ethics doesn't provide people with the sort of help they really want. Ethics sometimes gives us an avenue to find answers. Ethics doesn't always show us the right answer to moral problems. Indeed, more and more people think that for many ethical issues, there isn't a single right answer. Just a set of principles that can be applied to particular cases to give those involved some clearer choices. Some philosophers go further and say that all ethics can do is eliminate confusion and clarify the issues. After that, it's up to each individual to come up with their own conclusions. So, how can we play our part in living the values associated with ethics and integrity? Firstly, there is the home. And what happens in the home ultimately comes up to the second, which is the school, college, and university. And thirdly, the workplace. Fourthly, government. And number 5, business. All these are intertwined. And what are the benefits of ethical decision making? We have benefits for both business and individuals. Firstly, an ethical business makes profits. Ethical employees thrive, get promoted. Secondly, there's protection against legal and compliance risk and all sorts of other problems. And thirdly, there's a higher employee engagement level. How can we change the world by living ethical lives? Firstly, I anticipate that there will be social change. Secondly, economic change. Thirdly, environmental impact and change. Fourthly, state priorities are advanced. And lastly, the business prosperity. How do you make the right decisions? Think about the pros and cons. Think about your future. Think about society. And think about the law on your back. It always helps to do the correct thing. Now, this ultimately leads to the acronym of SELF, you. And SELF in the context of ethics means, firstly, S stands for scrutiny. Would you be comfortable with your actions being published for all to see? E stands for ethical. Does the decision honor your values and the companies or the organizations? L stands for lawful. Is it legal in terms of the country and the company and where you live? F stands for fair. Is it right, just, and equitable? And does it make you feel good? So that's the idea with ethics and integrity. When we live in ethics, we live prosperously. We live in a way that is worry-free. We don't have to, when there's a saying that says, when you do the correct thing, you don't even have to remember a thing in your life. Because you never have to tell lies. You always are a step ahead of your next project, of your next dream, of your next idea. Because what you're focused on is doing the correct thing. And so a life of ethics and integrity in society is clearly a life of progress. The converse is true. When we do not have ethical lives, we are constantly dealing with strife, with conflict, with being on the other side of the law, on the other side of religious principles. And of course, we lack spiritual intelligence, emotional intelligence, and it just, the list is endless. So a life of ethics and integrity is a life of progress.